That's fine. Okay, Robert, my name is Carlton Cartwright. I'm the Executive Director for the Children's Coalition Incorporated, and we are here today at the Clifford
Sims.
Chester Sims State Veterans Nursing Home in Springfield, Florida. And today's date is December 23rd, 2019. And what is your name, sir?
Robert Steward.
Is that
Steward, S-T-E-W-A-R-D.
Got it. Okay. And when is your birthday?
16 May 56.
Okay. And what is your current address?
1204 Crooked Lane, Southport, Florida.
Okay. And what branch of the service were you in?
Army, Navy, Air National Guard.
Oh, okay. All right. Army, Navy, Air, National Guard. Okay, good. And okay, I have that sound. Okay. And what year did you? What was your rank when you separated?
E6. I retired.
Okay. What year did you go into service?
74, June 74.
Okay.
30 years.
Okay. Oh, you did 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. What were you doing before you went into service?
School, high school.
Where?
Thomasville, Georgia.
Okay. And did you have any college at that point?
No.
Okay. Okay. What was your rank when you separated?
E6.
Yeah, you told me already. Sorry about that. Okay. So were you drafted or enlisted?
Enlisted.
And why did you choose that branch?
Made a mistake. Should not have went in the Army. My dad, who retired Air Force, told me I could make rank faster in the Army. He was right, but it was a world of difference between the Army and the Air Force. I should have went in the Air Force.
Okay. Okay.
Took me another branch to get back to there.
So you finally did get into the Air Force. Gotcha. All right. So where did you go to basic training?
Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Okay.
Summer of 74.
What was that like?
Hot and rigorous.
How long did it last?
Geez, how long did it last? 2 months?
Okay, about
like that.
6-8 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember your instructors at all?
Yeah, Drill Sergeant Fisher and Drill Sergeant Harris. I will never forget them.
Why is that?
Because they scared the crap out of me, that's why. They scared me pretty good.
Were you the only one they scared?
No,
Okay.
we all were.
Just got a turn.
But it was a good scare. They knew what they were doing.
Right.
And they did a good job.
Took care of you, huh?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Were there any casualties during basic training? Anybody get hurt?
Yeah. I even got hurt.
Oh.
But it was running in formation, and one guy falls and other people fall.
Domino.
Yeah. Other than that, and mostly just the rigor, the training as rigorous as it was, and you wasn't quite used to that.
Right.
So sprains and stuff like that.
Okay. All right.
I don't remember anybody getting seriously injured, but
Okay.
that's just been a long time ago too.
All right. So where did you go to technical school?
Which branch?
Okay.
The Army, all I did with the Army was after boot camp, I stayed there at Fort Jackson for field wireman school. And then my first duty station was Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Well, we got to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and they didn't need field wiremen anymore. So, breach your contract, you can either go home or you can go in the infantry. Well, I went in the infantry. So I was light weapons infantry for the rest of my Army career.
How long did that last?
2.5 years.
Where? Where did you?
Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
All right. Were there any casualties while you were there?
All the normal training type stuff, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and you said you were there for how long?
Fort Campbell? Till I got out in June of 77.
Okay.
I was 3 years active and 3 years inactive. That was their length of term at the time. This was during the Vietnam War. Vietnam War ended in 75, and I got out, 2 years later?
And okay, what year did you get out?
June of '77.
Okay.
I was on the Vietnam era.
Right.
I enlisted during Vietnam, but I was never sent there.
Okay, gotcha. So while you were in the Army, tell me all the places that you got to go. Like, what'd you do on R&R when you got, like, leave?
Yeah, I went home.
Okay.
To my family who lived in South Georgia.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We went to mostly just training. We went to Reforger 76 in Germany one time, and the rest of it was either down here in Florida or mostly there at Fort Campbell, and we went to New Hampshire one time. I don't remember how long it was.
Okay.
Just field problems, just going and aggress against different people.
Right.
Training.
Okay, so you did maneuvers.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Did a lot of maneuvers. Okay, cool. And anybody got hurt on maneuvers or any casualties? Everybody okay?
Yeah, just nothing but other than normal stuff.
Right. All right, so right after that, you got out, and you knew you were going to go in the Air Force right away?
Well,
or?
I got out, and because I was not going to stay in the infantry. I knew that was a young man's game, and it was just a matter of time before it really broke you down. And I paid for it to this day. And I was 18, 19, 20 years old then, and I'm 63.
Right.
So a lot of that time got me now. But I got out, was out almost 2 years, and tried to go back in the Air Force. I tried to go back in the Air Force, and they had an extensive waiting time. I said, no. So that was across the hall was the Navy recruiter.
Yeah.
And he said, come on over here, let's talk. Everything I asked for, they gave me.
Oh.
So I went in the Navy.
Oh, you went in the Navy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in the Navy for 10.5 years. I was in the CT field.
What is that?
A cryptologic technician.
What is that?
It's top security clearance. I was just in operations my first enlistment, and then I re-enlisted for advanced electronic maintenance. So the rest of my time in the Navy, I was in electronic maintenance.
Okay. All right. So where was basic training in the Navy?
You only had to go through basic training one time.
Oh.
Unless you're going to the Marine Corps.
Oh. Okay.
And you will not go in the Marines unless you go through their boot camp.
Yes. All right.
And the Marines, I was never, not even a little bit interested in anything to do with the Marine Corps. So
we're not going to call you jarhead. I understand.
I wouldn't care what they called me. There's just a lot of things I just knew I wouldn't do.
Okay.
Put it that way.
All right. Okay. So then you enlisted?
In the Navy, got out of the Navy in November of '89.
How long were you in there?
10.5 years.
Okay, so where'd you go while you were in the Navy?
I was 3 years in Rota, Spain, and 3 years in Edsel, Scotland. And my last 2.5 years was at the Naval Research Lab in Washington, D.C.
So the first one was in Spain?
Right. Rota, Spain. Yeah.
Rhoda, yeah. And what did you do there? What was your
I
job?
was operations, message operations. I can't really go into what I did.
Because of the confidentiality.
Right.
I understand. Okay, so, and how long were you there?
3 years.
Okay, so beyond the job that you can't talk about, which is understandable, I got that. Did you travel while you were in Europe?
Yeah, we took, my first wife, we took military hops to Germany. And the capital of Spain, which is northern Spain.
Madrid?
Madrid, thank you.
Okay.
Madrid. And then just a local area.
Right.
Really enjoyed Spain.
Okay, good. Was that, so you went to just Germany and Spain for that whole period?
Right.
Okay, and where was the second duty base?
It was, well, I had to come back to the States for school, and I went to Edsel, Scotland.
What school?
That's when I went from operations to maintenance. That's when I went.
Where?
My school was Orlando, Florida, and Pensacola, Florida, and my C school was in Winter Harbor, Maine.
C school?
Right, that's your expertise. That's where you was going to work on whatever system that you was going to work on.
Okay, and what system did you wind up working on, or was that top secret?
Classic Wizard.
Classic Wizard.
That's been out, retired probably for 20 years.
Is that software
Both.
driven? Okay, both. What is the other? Hardware?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, okay. So you had some pretty unique experiences there, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so,
And then I got out and...
well, so you went to Spain, and the second base was where?
My last base was, that's in Scotland.
Right, and what'd you do there?
That was where I did my electronic maintenance.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
maintenance field there.
Right. Okay, and, okay. So, the third one?
Oh.
While you were in Scotland, did you get to travel?
Yeah, London, Germany. I think that was it.
Okay, and the third one?
And then Naval Research Lab there in Washington, D.C. That's
Uh-huh.
my last duty station.
Oh, okay. And how long were you there?
2.5 years.
So did you...
That's where I got out at.
Oh, that's where you got out. Did you travel at all while you were there?
No.
No? You just stayed there for the...
Yeah.
Did you? What'd you do
Well,
on leave?
Well, D.C., there's a lot to do in D.C.
I get that.
A lot to see. So mostly that.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
And then
yeah.
up to Baltimore and just the local area and stuff.
Right.
Because I was born in Baltimore. I was born at the Naval Academy.
Uh-huh.
My dad was stationed at Andrews Air Force Base
Oh, okay. All right.
100 years ago.
Oh, oh okay. Close, huh?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Right. All right. So when you got done with that,
I got out. Came back home to Panama City, Florida, where my wife and kids were at. Went immediately into the Naval Reserve.
mm-hmm.
So I was in the Naval Reserve for 3 years, and then they moved my unit from Pensacola to New Orleans. So I just got out. I just got completely away from it. And then I went into the Army National Guard
Okay.
here in Panama City, which was just a weekend warrior type thing, just 2 days a month, 2.5 weeks a year. And that's where I found out about the Air National Guard. I never even heard of it. So I found
And
out
is that
about
affiliated with the Air Force?
Yes.
Okay.
The Army National Guard affiliated with the Army,
Uh-huh.
Air National Guard, which
Okay.
is affiliated with the Air Force.
Okay.
Well, my Navy electronic schools got me into the Air National Guard here
Okay.
at Tyndall Air Force Base, working on at the Southeast Air Defense,
Uh-huh.
working on their Q-93, their system.
Right.
And that's where I stayed for the last 7.5 years that I needed to retire 20 active.
Right.
And it took me 30 years to do that.
Okay.
Because I was out for only in the reserve or, in the reserve or National Guard weekend type stuff for from 90 until 97.
Right.
I went back in on active duty.
Okay.
And
All right.
I retired here.
So okay. So okay. So that was like once a month and 2 weeks a year.
When I was on the Army Air National Guard and the Naval Reserve, I went in. You got, they call it AGR and DSG. AGR is you do it monthly. You're just part time.
Right.
DSG, I don't remember what it designates, but DSG is you were active duty, and they turned the air defense sectors, the air defense job that the Air Force did, over to the National Guard. So,
Okay.
I qualified to work on their electronic system that they used to put the air picture on the scopes,
Right.
and that's what got me back on active duty.
What was that job doing? Put the.
The air defense, our air defense is, they have big scopes. All this stuff is now antiquated and already gone.
Okay.
They got completely new everything that I don't know anything about.
Right. Just tell me about what you did.
But they took that, what it does, all our radars brought all the air picture, whatever aircraft is trying to come into the States,
Oh.
and they put it on these scopes.
Okay.
And the operators, if they're not knowing, they they find out. And they find out, well, are these people supposed to be here or not?
Right, okay.
And that's
Gotcha.
why.
Identification.
Right. That's why 9/11 hurt us so bad. We're looking from the outside coming in. We're not looking on the inside. And
Okay.
the inside is what got us.
Right.
But they fixed that right after 9/11.
Okay.
Now we see
All of it going and coming.
everything.
Okay. Good. That's good news. Okay. So how many years did you do this Air National Guard?
7.5.
Okay, and-
Because I had 7.5, I had to do that much active duty time to qualify for a 20-year active duty retirement.
Okay. So tell me, did you get to travel?
No.
Tell me about that job. Tell me,
Well, it's
I mean,
it's just I was here working on this system out here at the base at Tyndall. Really didn't go anywhere or do anything because that's your job right there
Okay.
until after 9/11. From there we went to different places here in the States to do different things, but I don't know if I can go into that or not. I'm not sure.
it's okay.
Okay.
I get that.
Basically to make sure we can see on the inside of the States as well as we could on the outside.
Right.
So,
Did you ever hop on vacation?
no, not
No,
here
you
in
never
the
did that?
States,
No?
No? Because this is home.
Right. No, I figured maybe every now and then you catch a hop to another part of somewhere, just for some R&R.
Not military hops. You
Okay.
tend to get stranded when you do that, so I didn't really care too much to do that anymore.
I got you. So where'd you go on vacation over the years? Anyway, what you have the civilian job on the base too?
A little while here at Tyndall, and I worked on a hovercraft on a Navy base for a little while, and then I finally was able to completely retire, and I did. I'm completely retired now.
Okay. So your civilian jobs were government jobs also, huh?
2 of them were.
2 of them were. And what were those 2 jobs?
Well, the first one right after I retired was in the security system that the base has out here for electronic security. Like if you open a door you're not supposed to, it alarms and stuff like that. I maintained that for a year and a half right after I retired from active duty. And then from there I went to just different odd jobs around, and then I went back to the Navy base and worked on a hovercraft for a few months before then I found out that because of disabilities I could completely retire, and that's what I did. That's when I retired.
Okay. Okay. So what civilian jobs did you have?
A lot of them.
Well, like, were those top secret too, or you can't talk?
No. After I left the security system, Vindicator security system on Tyndall, I went to work for the city for a year working on the traffic light systems here in town.
Okay.
And then from there, I went back to school at Haney Tech School for Marine System Outboard Motor. And then from there, that's when I went back to, and then just little odd jobs. I didn't have to work, but I wanted to because of boredom. So I worked for an Enterprise car rental out at the airport doing vehicle maintenance, changing the oil and rotate tires and stuff. And from there, I went back to the Navy base to work on the hovercraft.
Right.
I worked for the hovercraft for about a year and a half, from 1990 to 91 when I was in the Naval Reserve.
Right. Okay.
And in school. I was going to college at Gulf Coast at the time too.
Okay. What was that hovercraft like working on?
It's hot, noisy, and you crawl around on your knees. And
You have knee pads?
yeah.
Okay.
And wire everywhere.
Yeah.
Great big wire harnesses and stuff like that. It's not an easy boat to work on.
Okay.
And I also found out I'm too old to be doing this. It's time to retire.
I get that. Okay, I really get that. In my job, I get that. So anyway, Did you ever see any combat?
No, I never did.
Okay. All right. Do you remember any of your instructors, by the way? Well, you did. You did from the Army.
Yeah.
I mean, was it the Army you were in?
Army.
Yeah.
All my drill sergeants
Yeah.
were Vietnam vets that had fought there.
Okay.
And when my first unit, A Company, 2nd and 503rd, at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, a lot of the guys there, my platoon sergeants, and my team leaders were Vietnam veterans. Matter of fact, my first team leader, I can't believe I remember his name, but his name was Dana Farnsworth. He got hurt at Hamburger Hill in Vietnam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's something. Yeah, speaking of which, in any of those jobs that you had, I mean, were there casualties throughout? I mean, the entire career? People get either getting hurt or fatally injured?
Well, not directly around me, but it happened. We traveled on helicopter, the UH-1 Huey, and sometimes they would go down, but they didn't while I was on active duty. And periodically you walk where you're not supposed to, and those blades will get you. And you have people that rappelling out of them might fall, but just no. Like it's been so long ago, I don't remember anybody that really. I mean, they get hurt, but they didn't really get hurt real bad.
Did you maintain any of your friendships
No.
afterwards?
One person.
Really?
He lives in Lillian, Alabama, as a matter of fact. He and I we've known each other since we was 18.
Oh, okay.
And,
That's been a lifelong friendship.
And we're 63 years old now.
Together, huh?
Yeah, he's the only
Cool.
one. He carried the battalion radio, and I carried the company radio for our company CO.
Okay. Any awards, medals, citations?
Just the normal stuff.
What is normal?
Good conduct.
Okay.
And advancing in rank as you're eligible. Other than that.
Okay. You said you were E6?
E6.
Okay.
Which is a tech sergeant in the Air Force.
Right.
And that's where I was the E6 at. The Navy, I was only an E5, which was a petty officer second class. And in the Army, I was only an E4, which was a specialist fourth class.
Right, okay.
And then E1, I never was an E1. E2 and E3 in the Army, I had to go back to E3 in the Navy. And then when I went to the Air National Guard, I was an E5 staff sergeant.
Okay. All right. How was the food throughout the military anyway, by the way?
As far as I'm concerned, it was good. And some of the best I've ever had is right here at Tyndall.
Okay.
Which when I retired, because I ate there all the time.
Right.
But when I retired and was working on the base, because I like to go in there for breakfast and stuff, I went in there and they said, ID card. He said, yeah, I'm just retired. Well, guess what? You can't eat here except on the weekends or holidays. So I couldn't eat at the mess hall anymore.
Disappointed, huh?
Yeah, big time. Okay. Now, food, as far as military, I never had any problems with it.
Yeah.
It was always pretty good to me.
Gotcha. Okay. You feel like you had all the supplies that you needed throughout your military service?
Oh, definitely.
They took care of you, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Were you ever part of any battle planning?
No, I was never around any type of combat.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Even it's part of like maneuvers, you know.
Oh yeah, as far as that's concerned.
Yeah. That's what yeah. So you never were in combat. No, but you could have been part of.
But you practiced for it.
Exactly.
Active duty.
Okay. How'd you get along with officers throughout your military service?
Some of them quite well. Most of them not so well.
I
just had a problem with. I'm more the kind that give me a job to do, and then go away.
Right.
I will do the job.
Okay.
If you're gonna look over my shoulder, I'm gonna let you do it. I'm out of here. And the smart ones would be okay with that.
Right.
Just get it done. Let me know when you're finished. Not a problem.
Okay.
The few that could not, they'd had to micromanage, or you have to do it their way.
Right.
I had problems with it.
Okay. Okay, so, but you managed to,
Oh, yeah. Usually, we stayed away from each other, and we was just fine.
got it, so you got through that.
Yeah.
All right, so when you got out of the service, when you finally retired,
Mm-hmm.
you still had your civilian job when you retired from the service?
No.
No, you were done.
That's
So what'd you do?
Well, that's when I worked for Vindicator, the security system that had the security on the base. That's the one that they used. I did that right after I retired from active duty.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So how long did you do that for?
About a year and a half.
Okay, all right. Okay, what did you use your GI Bill for? Anything? House,
Yes.
education, what?
I used it to go to Marine Systems School there at Haney, and I used it for most of my Gulf Coast college. I used it for that, and used almost all of it. I had the old Montgomery GI. I had a good solid 4 years, and I guess I was lucky. I had the original GI Bill from the 70s, and I used almost all of it. You know, I would not have been able to go to school had it not been for that.
And what did you get a degree in? Or a certification?
Marine system, outboard motor.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, just a few more questions. Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Oh yeah.
How? Funny. How?
I found out pretty quick how not to do some things. Unfortunately, though, you can't tell him, you know what? You're not doing this right at all, and I don't want nothing to do with it. But you have no choice there.
Right.
But you don't have as good a say-so as you should have. Doing some things. And the longer I was in, I could see the military turning more and more to political correct, bad word. And I felt it really hurt the military when you have politicians on active duty. All they wanted to do is they're just trying to get promoted and go to their next wherever that might be.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
And one more.
okay.
How did you... Interesting. How did your service and experiences affect your life?
Oh, it was my whole life.
Meaning what?
30 years to get 20 active. All of the education that I got from the military, I used in jobs on the outside. And the educational stuff that they gave me, I could use to go to college when I got out.
Okay.
So, yeah, it really helped me greatly.
Okay. Good. Well, I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for a great interview. Do you feel like there's anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Not really.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Give me one outstanding incident that happened during your career that you'll never forget that wasn't top secret that you can tell us.
When I was in Rota, Spain, I got there in what they call preferred overseas shore duty billet.
Right.
In other words, I never should have had to leave for TDY, TAD, or however they want to call it, on ships into the Mediterranean. They had their own billets for that, direct support billets.
Okay.
Well, when I first got there in December of '79, we had mostly female in our working there. Well, females at that time, they don't go on ships. So they still had these direct support billets that they needed to fill. They had to put bodies on ships out in the Med. So you had no choice. You're going. Pack your bags. Go. I went to the IG, and I was basically said, well, your CO can do with you as he wants. Okay, so I went. I had no choice. And on one of those trips, I've been out there in 3 years. I had 4 or 5, quite a few different trips on the ships out there. I knew the job that I had as far as communications and stuff, I knew where problems were at. I knew what was causing these problems as far as HF and stuff comes to the ship, wherever we might be. And one time, I had a brand new officer that was with us, but he was a good guy. And I knew, well, at the time, you know, we're having problems with this, take it to whoever it needs to go and to fix it.
Right.
Well, they kept telling him, no, it has to be you. It's got to be you. It's got to be where you're at. And when he told me that, I said, no, I can tell you exactly where it is. So I told him where it was at, Neo Marcus, Greece, somewhere like that. This is where the problem is. Tell them to look again.
Right.
And lo and behold, that was the problem. And apparently it saved his ass because he really appreciated it, and that was a good positive experience.
Okay.
But he was a good guy.
Okay.
He was one of those good officers.
Okay. All right, well, I want to thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. Thanks.